Hi guys, and welcome again to our session. In the last session, we created a Selenium project about automation, the test project, and in this session, the main agenda is to learn about identifying elements because on a web page, there are basically different elements on which you just identify those and then take some action based on whatever your particular test cases need is. Fine. So there are different basically the different element finding strategies. So there you can find element using different strategies, so we'll discuss more about that. So let's take an example of Google page. Fine. So on the particular web page, there may be some there may be some links, there may be some images, there may be some text, there may be some fields which you want to identify and uh, take some action using those fields. Fine. So in our project, you just we have created a Firefox driver in which we created we opened a Google page. So basically everything which the web driver identifies in terms of web element, whenever you are going to automate a particular web page, it finds basically this find element method. It finds everything in terms of web element. So in order to clear this, let's go to Selenium site like we did in the last session. We went to Selenium site, and in Java doc section we search for WebDriver section. So let's go to WebDriver, and then you have all the methods over here. So if you see the method find element, its return type is web element. Fine. So whatever the find element finds, it returns in the terms of web element. Fine. So this is basically the main method through which you can identify the different elements. Fine. So in order to identify, you can identify the elements using their ID, using their class, using their XPath, using their CSS selector, using their link test, and many methods are available. Fine. So let's just create a, try to find out the ID of this particular image. This is a particular search box. uh, like we said, there can be some different texts, there can be some different uh, you know text field or images or links or whatever you want to know. So uh, there is a method on finding elements on a particular web page. If you are using Firefox, you can install the Firebug. uh, it's an extension which using which you can find elements and do different kind of things. So let's just find some elements and use this in our uh, test case. So now you use find element and then you use by. So if you type by, so it says by what, what are the methods by which you can identify a particular element. So there is a certain list of particular set of methods by which you can find those elements. So like we said, we can find it by ID or class name or XPath or CSS selector. So let's try to find out uh, this image's ID. Fine. So we will start with Firefox because I said that we have installed Firebug in that. Fine. Using that you can start the Firebug and identify elements. So let's just right click over the Google logo, and it will automatically get you all the attributes of that particular image. But still, you can you see this is the ID of that particular image. It says HP logo. Fine. The ID is this one, There is alignment, there is different title and everything. Even you, if you want to find the subtext, you just click on that, you just click on inspect element using right click, and you see the class is logo hyphen subclass, fine, and the text is India. So you just have to right click on that particular element, and you can find using the Firebug. It has the option of inspect element, and using inspect element you can inspect the different attributes of a particular element, and using that particular ID or of an element, you can perform certain set of actions on that particular image or link or text box or whatever you want, fine. So you see, we have used that particular ID, fine, and then we typed in the previous example, then uh, we have found using that particular ID, and we send the key of Selenium in that. If you remember the last video, we have created a particular scenario in which we opened the Google page and we typed Selenium in that particular in text field in order to get the result, fine. If you have correctly set the Java doc in your project, it will, once you hover your mouse over any method, it will show you the related documents that is basically attached to that particular method, fine. If you don't find, it's not a matter of concern, you can just go to the Selenium site and you can find whatever resource you want, fine. So in future, say if you have any issue in getting the information, you can just come to this site and try searching for that, fine. So this will basically, you have to try this at home with certain, I mean, different set of example. You just create anything that you want to automate, just create any scenario and try to automate using your own setup, fine. Because if you don't uh, practice this at home, it will, it will not, you will not get used to it. So we have learned about how to create project, how to create everything, and as this session was an introduction, I mean, this session is going toward the mobile testing. This part was basically introducing you to Selenium concept, because Selenium is basically Appium is using all the Selenium WebDriver APIs, and if you know Selenium, if you, even if you don't know, you just start with Selenium using these some simple examples, and then you can move forward to some advanced concept, fine. So if you know these examples on using web elements or something, the same concept will apply on mobile devices also, fine. You don't have to worry more about using these things on mobile testing, because the same things will apply. We will see in our coming session that everything that we are doing here, it's the same concept which we will apply to mobile testing using Appium, fine. Appium is nothing, I repeat again and again so that you remember everything, that Appium is going to use Selenium WebDriver API. It's nothing more than that, it's not reinventing anything, fine. So that's it for this video, guys. We'll start introducing Selenium in the next video. Till then, I believe uh, you will try to create some example at your home, and we'll try that at home. Okay, thanks everyone.